Hey guys, so today I'm going to be looking at the dumbest thing people believed. So yeah, let's just get right into the video. As a kid, my sister told me that we had an older brother that died. She said he died when playing bowling and his fingers didn't come out the ball and slid all the way down the alley. Then he turned into a skittle. He became one with the ball basically, and he kept rolling and rolling and rolling until he became round like a skittle. Whoa, this sister's imagination though. Why did she say that though? Like, what was the reason of that? Like, she was just randomly like, you know, we actually have an older brother, but he died because he became a skittle. And then you ate him. You know, like, why? I used to think that people exclusively wore hats if they were bald, because that's why my dad wore a hat. I used to think about so many things like this. Like, if I see something so much every single day, I'd think everyone did that thing as well, you know? You know what I mean? Like, whatever I believed, I thought people believed too, basically. That reindeer wasn't an actual animal, but specifically a mythical animal that Santa Claus used. I believed this until I was 23 or so, when I saw some nature documentary talking about reindeer. I was like, what? Oh yeah, I think a lot of people don't know reindeers are real. Like, they think it's just made up because it's associated with Santa Claus, right? And Santa Claus isn't real. So, you know, you put those things together and, you know, they're both not real. My dad used to tell us kids that a dwarf little person worked in and operated every car park barrier in the world. Every time he drove up to one, he'd press the button for the ticket and say, "Cheers, mate, how's the wife?" And a fake conversation as he waited for the barrier to open. Ah, so they'd be inside? So he lied to his kids that every little person would be like inside one of those things, right? And just giving tickets. What? I would feel so bad if I were the kid. I remember there was one where the parent told the kid that someone was inside an ATM machine just handing out the money, you know. When I was a kid, I used to think professional wrestling was real. I thought that was real until like a few years ago. I didn't know that was fake. I thought that was like actually real because, yeah. I mean, I'm glad it's not real. Jeez. When I was a little kid, I believed that when people got divorced, they had a divorce ceremony, like where they had to go to church and say, "I don't." And I imagined the woman wore a black divorce dress, like her wedding dress had been dyed black, and that everybody went to the reception where the ex-bride and ex-groom sat on opposite sides of the hall, and there was a divorce cake where the little bride and groom on top had their backs to each other with their arms angrily crossed. I eventually learned from watching my mum's soap operas that this was not the case, and was kind of disappointed because I'd been to a few weddings by then and was interested in what a divorce ceremony was like. That sounds kind of fun though. You know? I feel like this is good if you divorce on good terms, you know, and you have a ceremony because you're both so happy being separated from each other now. This should happen. Yes, I like this idea actually. I like it. That my dog went to a farm until I was 35. That's sad, man. Well, obviously, you don't know how to break it to a kid, you know, like, you don't know how to tell a kid that the dog ain't gonna be there. I believed my uncle's roommate just slept on the couch. I feel like we believed a lot of these things as kids, you know, like how lots of TV shows had like some dirty lines and stuff, and we never got them, you know, because we're kids. We never get those things until we rewatch it, and then we're like, like there were so many dirty references in like cartoons. Like, what? I thought that teachers lived at school. I feel like a lot of us did. Okay, I did too. You know, I feel like a lot of us think teachers only have a life at school, basically. Like, the teachers when they're at home, the teachers when they're at school, the teachers when they're shopping, you know. Like, actually, we don't even think teachers do any non-teacher things. We just think teachers teach 24/7 and mark 24/7. But that's what I thought, you know. Like, I didn't think teachers had like a life outside of school. I feel like I only realized this when I was becoming a teacher myself. You know, I was like, shoot, hold on, what? So like my teachers have been doing crazier things too? I thought guys got periods too, but only once, and you bled and then you were able to impregnate someone. I mean, yeah, if no one told them about it, I guess that's fair. That I could smell something while underwater. They must have taken in a lot of water then. When I was around 10 to 12 years old, I was in a tropical themed water park where also happened to be a herbal bath. It smelled very nice, which I had not expected. Most of the tropical plants were fake plastic plants, so I figured the water in the bath was normal swimming pool water and the smell was coming from somewhere else. The bath was surrounded with a small aromatic herb garden, which didn't look fake. I sneakily took a sample from a thyme plant that felt surprisingly real. But because the air was filled with all the different aromas and a hint of chlorine, I couldn't smell anything different when I tried to smell the thyme. I figured the only place where my sense of smell couldn't be fooled by any fakery was underwater. For 5 seconds, I actually felt pretty smart. Until I tried. They like snorted in all that water, you know? Oh my gosh. That's hilarious. I thought sugar grew in sugar caves, similar to salt caves. I don't even know what a salt cave is. I believe that sugar crystals, like rock candy, just grew in caves, and there were parts of the world with beautiful crystallized sugar caves. Oh! I was 25 years old when I brought it up in conversation with my fiance. I tried to prove to him they were real, and it was when I reached my 4th page on Google, I realized my whole world was a lie. That's a pretty cool concept though. Sugar crystals, rock candy. Oh my gosh, I loved popping candy. You know, like the candies that pop in your mouth. Oh, I miss eating candy like I did when I was a kid. I haven't been eating candy at all now. I remember as a kid, I would go to the corner shop so many times just to buy candy and just eat them all. Holy moly, those were the days. Until I was way too old, I didn't know vaginas existed. I thought women just had blank space there and all the births were C-sections. How old is old? You know, how old was too old? A watermelon apple tree will grow out of my stomach if I eat the seeds. Didn't we all believe this? Okay, maybe some people were smart and they didn't. But I believe this. Yes, I did. Yes. When I was a kid, my mum told me that people actually had grey skin in the old days for real, and that no colour except black, white or grey ever existed back then. I believed that for way too long. I feel like a lot of kids probably did believe this because the TV is black and white back in the days, right? So if they watch that, obviously they're gonna think, oh yeah, times back in the days were black and white too. If you turn off a video game without pausing, the hero is left paralyzed and defenseless. Yes, I actually believe that. Every single time they were about to lose the game, I'm gonna turn it off, okay? Screw you. I used to be so confused about the amount of time it would take to make movies because I was convinced they did all that in chronological order, and when they did flashbacks to childhood, I was like, wow, those actors are so committed. Or I would think it must take a long time for their hair to grow and change in any way and never considered it could be an actual wig. Wow, so they thought if a flashback happened and the person was back to a kid again, that person filmed as a kid until they were adults. Wow. I never actually had this thought though. Oh, I wonder what I thought about this then. I don't even remember. I don't even think I had any thoughts. I was just watching the movie. Someone convinced me for like 5 seconds that unicorns were real. They just lost their horns through evolution and now they are plain old horses. Only for 5 seconds? What happened after the 5 seconds? You know, they were believing it like, oh really? No way. And then what happened? You know, why did I only believe it for 5 seconds? I used to think TV static was a bunch of some type of microorganisms floating around in my TV that could electrocute you. I used to think that was a ghost in my TV. I used to believe if my TV had static, it meant some ghost was in there, you know, doing the static noise. Yeah, I don't know why I thought that, but I feel like it's because in horror movies, That's what happened. Like, you know, in most horror movies, when they're watching the TV, all of a sudden it's static, right? That's why I thought that. Well, that's it for the video. Hope you guys enjoyed. Tell me in the comments down below what your thoughts are. And as always, thanks for watching. Hope you guys liked it, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye!